What do you guys think about Christian Kirksey for this year and how integral of a part he will be to the Packers defense? Give me your takes on that. And what do you think in the chat? Corey.
I think from what I've read and what I've seen of him, he looks like a solid player. I mean, he definitely has the tools. I mean, there is definitely the injury concern over the past couple of years. What I would say, though, is, yeah, it's fine to hitch your wagon to him, but I would have liked to have done that had they had some depth at inside linebacker and somebody else there to help pick up any slack. Because who else is there at inside linebacker for the Packers? They just don't value that position as much as they do other positions. So it's hard to, get all googly-eyed over him when, if he gets hurt, you have nobody at middle linebacker and inside linebacker to help and take over what he did. So I'm cautiously optimistic, more caution than optimism.
Well, Eric can tell us about who can help the Packers run defense because he was on your favorite hometown team. Eric, tell us about Kamal Martin. Is he going to be a guy that can step in and be good or what?
Well, I guess we'll see. I don't know where he's going to fit in whatever scheme the Packers are going to run here, but
they're going to run stop the run scheme. That's what it's called.
Is that what it is?
Okay. Yeah, because they couldn't do that very well last year. So that's what,
they're going to just, hey, Kenny Clark, do all of that for us, and we'll try to help as much as we can. Is that what we're trying to do? So I think you're replacing Blake Martinez, right? Who is tackling machine, and so he sounds like a great guy, right? Team captain, Peyton Man of the Year nominee. That's great. Those are great intangibles. Obviously, you don't get those things if you're not a good character person, and that's important. And obviously, he's had production. So, but something that he still does some radio or some TV now for college football. But Glenn Mason, former coach of the Golden Gophers for a while, and some other teams, would always say the most important attribute is availability. So, and I won't dwell on it, but it sounds like when he's healthy, he's going to be at least a good player, which is what you need to replace Martinez, who was a good player. So, but let's say that happens. Now you've plugged a hole that you needed to plug, but you're still kind of in the same spot. So you're going to need some other guys to step up, right? If you're going to look for improvement.
Well,
Big
Browner,
problem is,
hold on. Browner's got a question. He says, why do you continue to have Mo on?
I think he just said, I love you, Mo, is what he said.
Yeah, then he followed it up. Followed it up with some love. So, it's okay. But anyway, that's why
I'm here to keep you guys grounded.
We had some Minnesota things to ask about. That's why. Okay.
You want the honest truth why I want Mo on?
Yes.
He's the only person who laughs at all my stupid jokes. So I got to have him on. He always laughs. He makes me feel better when I'm doing all my stupid stuff.
I laugh all the time. You told me how much I fake laugh on this show.
Yeah, but your laugh is fake laugh. Mo's is a real laugh.
It's not fake. Okay.
Anyways, back to the thing. Here's the big problem, everybody. Kirksey coming off 2 seasons of injury. Kamal Martin coming off a season of injury. Owen Burks, he was injured, and then when he wasn't injured, he couldn't get on the field. That's our middle linebackers, everybody. The only other guy we have is Ty Summers, who has no experience because he was a quarterback before they moved him to a linebacker. So if any of those guys get hurt, or all of them get hurt, or whatever, we're in deep crap. And the big problem is something I'm going to bring up later because I'm going to go over some stuff, and we'll get to it. But I hope that Kirksey's going to be healthy, because when I watch film on the guy, he does things that Blake Martinez and AJ Hawk have never done. And that's attack the line of scrimmage on running plays. Oh my God. I watched the tape. He actually makes plays. You know what else he does? He gets in passing lanes and picks balls off and covers guys. Oh my gosh. Martinez couldn't cover anybody. He had one interception last year, which was important because it was against the Lions, and it was a very, very, they needed it because they were almost going to lose that game because Rodgers was throwing the ball, airballing everybody over their top of their heads, and they needed the defense to do some stuff. But usually Martinez doesn't play coverage, or hasn't. The guy catches the ball, then he gets a tackle. That's why he has 5,000 tackles. That's what he does. He can't cover a guy. I've seen tape on Kirksey. He can cover guys. He can break up passes. He can intercept passes. He attacks the line of scrimmage. He can read the offensive line and know what they're trying to do to him and get off blocks. And that's something Martinez didn't always do. Now, we talked about it before, where maybe he was told not to do that. He was told to clean up a mess.
You're gonna make
That's
Eckes
fine.
mad saying all this stuff about Martinez.
I
man.
know, but it's true if you watch
Okay.
the tape, and it's true because that's how it works. It's the same thing as when you look at all these teams where it's like, oh, this guy had 5 million tackles, and this guy had 5 million tackles, this guy had 5 million tackles. It's like, okay, but the reason why he had that many tackles is because the guy in front of him, or the guy he's supposed to be covering, caught the ball, and then he had to tackle him. The better play is to break up the pass or get in there and tackle him. And how many of these tackles that Blake has are actually behind the line of scrimmage? Not very many. They're
yeah,
usually
not a lot.
downfield 5-6 yards. It doesn't help anybody. So that's what I see from Kirksey. He can attack and he can get off blocks and he can read the offensive line and see what their blocking patterns are and try to read the play and make a play. And that's awesome. And we need the young guys to do something. But like you said, they don't value middle linebacker. They've never valued middle linebacker. Corey said that. Yeah. I mean, think about it. Whenever they had a good guy, they just let him go, except for A.J. Hawk. They gave him a bunch of contracts in a row. Probably because
Yeah,
he's a 5th overall pick. But otherwise, I
Yeah.
don't know. They had Desmond Bishop. They let him go. He was awesome. He made plays all the time. He made one of my favorite plays when he picked off Brett Favre, returned for a touchdown. That was an awesome play. That was when Favre was a Viking. That was a great play. I love that play. Remember that play, Mo? Remember that one?
I
Oh,
seem,
that was-
I
was that
remember in that too. I don't know
Oh,
why.
that was a great play. Anyways, so that's all I got to say about Kirksey. He seems like a great guy. I agree with all that. But they're
Rick-
putting a lot of hope. They're putting a lot of hopes on this guy with really nothing backing him up, and that scares the crap out of me when this guy is supposed to be the quarterback of your defense. It freaks me out a little bit.
They are, but in the article, he also is quoted saying, "My pec is back." So we should feel fine about it. Okay, Rick has some things in the chat. He says the defensive scheme, his pec is back. He had the pectoral injury last year. My pec is back. That's what he said.
It's a
Anyway,
weird thing to say. It's a weird thing to say.
well, okay, fine. Well, if you got nice pecs, maybe you talk about them. I don't know. I
Maybe-
don't know what
My
I don't.
pecs,
Okay.
my pecs were coming back when I was lifting weights during quarantine, but I haven't lifted weights in 2 weeks, and they're gone.
Now they've sagged a bit. You can don't show anybody. Okay, Eric says.
I'm keeping
Rick's-
the camera up here for a reason.
Okay, good. Rick says that the defensive scheme could be more of a factor than who's playing inside linebacker. Perhaps, although the Packers line has got to get better. They still need a D tackle. I don't know where the upgrade comes from yet. They haven't signed anybody yet that I'm aware of, but hopefully they're just waiting on Mike Daniels or something. I don't know what's going to happen. And then Rick also brings up maybe playing a lot more nickel. The one thing I'll point about Kirksey before we finish on him is that the 2 years he had those really high tackle years, Joe Schobert, big ups to former Badger, also had 120 plus tackles in those seasons. So those two guys were like tackling everybody on that defense. Now, it also meant the Browns were probably defense was on the field a lot because their offense stunk, but those two guys made a lot of plays, and a lot of tackles.